George, I wish you'd looked at the nursery. What's wrong with it? I don't know. Well then, I just want you to look at it, is all. Or call a psychologist in to look at it. What would a psychologist want from the nursery? You know very well what he want. His wife paused in the middle of the kitchen and watched the stove, busy humming to itself, making supper for 4. It's just that the nursery is different now than it was. Alright, let's have a look. Joy never got lost on the route, nodded, read to her passable Highway 99. Lucian set up the gas between the live oaks and the Spanish moss that fanned across her hood and windows with fingertips. Driving back to her family's cabin, 20 years later reminded her the woods had rarely been restful for her. Once her dad made her play outside instead of sitting on the couch with the Virginia Hamlet books. As she stepped an anthill up to her shin, she howled so loud from the vicious stings that Dad and Mom heard her from all the way up the lake. When they reached her, they expected her to be half dead. She'd never forgotten that wild, frightened look in her eyes. No, Joy did not like the woods. When she reached his road, Felicity understood her fate. He has not waited for her. Now that the past were a tangible thing, she thinks she could still see the weak reddish glow of a car till the lights faded on the horizon. In the flat darkness of the countryside, there was a disappointment, a wedding dress, and a bathroom she shouldn't have taken so long in. My name is QP, and I'm 29 years old, 3 months. I see my probation officer, Mr. T, Thursdays, 10 a.m., and my therapist, Dr. E, Mondays and Thursdays, 4:30 p.m. My group therapy session with Dr. B is Tuesday, 7 to 8:30 p.m. I am a registered student at Dale Country Business College, where I am enrolled in 2 and 3 credit courses for my spring semester, Introduction to Accounting, Computer Graphics. My residence is 118 Church Street, Mount Vernon, Michigan, where I am close by State University campus, 7 miles from Dale, but no inconvenience for me. I have my van. She came from the United States, straight to my house in Buenos Aires. They didn't want her to stay in some hotel while they looked for an apartment to rent. My Greek cousin, Joy, she'd been born in Argentina, but when she was 2, her parents, my aunt and uncle, had migrated to the States. They settled in Vermont. My uncle worked as Bowen, and my aunt, my dad's sister, birthed children, decorated the house, and secretly held spiritualist meetings in a beautiful, spacious living room. Rich, blonde Latina of German heritage, their neighbors didn't really know how to place them, since they came from South America, but the last name was Mayer even. Though the firstborn features betrayed infiltrated strain of native blood that came from my indigenous grandma. Joy had the dark, dead eyes of a rat, untamable hair always standing at the end, skin the color of wet sand. I'm pretty sure my aunt even started telling people she was adopted. My dad got so mad when he heard that rumor that he stopped writing and calling his sister for at least a year. Young Goodman Brown came forth at sunset into the street of Salem Village, but put his head back after crossing the threshold to exchange a parting kiss with his young wife and Faith. As his wife, amply named, thrust her own pretty head into the street, letting the wind play with the pink ribbons of her cap while she called to Goodman Brown. All you have to send is a size 9? Karen put the shiny, patent shoes down on the counter. Well, it used to be shiny. She's been wearing them everywhere, so now it's stolen by dust. It's the left side of a high-heeled pump pointy red toad. Those large, shiny, fake rhinestones decorating the shoebox. Each stone is a different size and color, and a different cheap plastic setting. Thread veneer has stripped off the heel of the shoe, scrolled up a white plastic heel base of strips. Jenna's heart clenches is exactly the kind of tacky blinged out accessory that Zulika loved to wear. She arrived 7:40, 10 minutes late, but the children, Jimmy and Bitsy, are still eating supper, and their parents are not ready to go yet. From the other room, some sounds of a baby screaming, water running, a television musical, no words, probably a dance number, pattern of gliding figures come to mind. Miss Tucker sweeps into the kitchen, fussing with her hair, snatches a baby bottle full of milk, half a pan of warm water, rushes out again. "Harry," she calls, "the babysitter's here. Already." "When you're dead," Samantha says, "you don't have to brush your teeth." "When you're dead," Claire says, "you live in a box and it's always dark, but you're not ever afraid." Claire and Samantha are identical twins. Their combined age is 20 years, 4 months, and 6 days. Claire is getting better at being dead than Samantha. Our last night of childhood began with a visit home. Tikatai sister had given us 2 cereal roll eggs. Tikatai gave one to my mother, brother, and sister. She insisted that I eat the other one alone. It didn't matter. There was still enough to leave for everyone. Going good, almost everyone. My mother wouldn't take any. She sat watching everyone, drifting and sleeping without her. Most of the time, she watched me. They lived, when he was growing up, in a simple house, an old bungalow, with a converted attic inside covered in a cedar shake. In the back, where an oak thrust its branches over the roof, the shake was light brown, almost honey. In the front, where the sun struck it full, it had a weathered to a pale gray, like a dirty bone. There, the shingles were brittle, thinned by the sun and rain, and if you were careful, you could slip your fingers behind some of them. Or at least, his sister could. He was older, and his fingers were thicker, so he could not. In the beginning, I know, I wanted before he does. This isn't how things are done, but this is how I'm going to do them. I am at the neighbor's party with my parents, and I am 17, though my father didn't notice. I drank half a glass of white wine in the kitchen a few minutes ago with the neighbor's teenage daughter. Everything is soft, like fresh oil painting. The human condition can be summed up in a drop of blood. Show me a teaspoon of blood, and I will reveal the ineffable nature of cosmos, naked and squirming. Funny how the truth always seems to do that when you shine a light. She had not slept well, from 1 to 30. When Jamie left, then she went lingeringly to bed until 7. When she at last allowed herself to get up and make coffee, she had slept fitfully, stirring, awake to open her eyes and look into the half-darkness, remembering over and over, slipping again into feverish dreams. She spent almost an hour over her coffee. They were to have a real breakfast on the way, and then, unless she wanted to dress early, had nothing to do. She washed her coffee cup and made the bed, looking carefully over clothes she planned to wear. Worry, unnecessary. At the window, over whether it would be a fine day. She sat down to read. thought that might at a wedding, your sister instead, and began in their finest handwriting. Dearest Annie, by the time you get this, I will be married. Doesn't it sound funny? I can hardly believe it myself. But when I tell you how it happened, you'll see a stranger than that. Limp, the body of Chorister hung from the pink pallet, unsupported, hanging high above us in the computer chamber, and it did not shiver in the chill, oily breeze that blew eternally through the main cabin. The body hung, head down, attached to the underside of the pallet by the sole of his right foot. It had been drained of blood through the precise incision made from the ear to ear on the delanking jaw. There was no blood on the reflective surface of the metal floor. The package was lying by the front door, a cube-shaped carton sealed with tape, their name and address printed by hand. Mr. and Miss Arthur Lewis, 217 E 37th Street, New York, New York, 10016. Norma picked it up, unlocked the door, and went into the apartment. It was just getting dark. So, this is the wizard, Neil said. Supposedly, Jump said, 6 feet tall, statue had been carved from wood that retained most of its whiteness. Even though the date was cut, its face read 2005, 7 years ago. Jim thought the color might be due to it not having been finished. Splinters stood out from the wood's uneven surface, but it didn't even know enough about carpentry to be certain. It looks kind of Gandalf, Neil said. The woman is a mound of dirt, and a rags pushing a squeaky shopping cart. A lump that moves steadily, slowly forward, as if dragged by an invisible tide. Her long greasy hair hides her face, but Raymond feels her staring at him. He looks ahead. The best thing to do with the homeless mob littering Vancouver is to ignore it. Give them a butt, and the beggars cling to you like barnacles. Have you seen my children? The woman asked. I remember how, that night, I lay awake in the wagon, lit and tender, delicious, ecstasy of excitement, my burning cheek pressed against the impeccable linen of the pillow, and the pounding of my heart mimicking that of great pistons ceaselessly thrusting the train that bore me through the night away from Paris, away from girlhood, away from the white, enclosed quietude of the mother's apartment into the unguessable country of marriage. The entire ride would take 11 minutes. That's what the boy had promised us, a boy who never showed.